In the Grimdark Universe, where unspeakable horrors and xenos with unfathomable technologies exist, soldiers of the Imperium fight on to stop them from annihilating or consuming the entire human race. Here in this galaxy, soldiers armed with lasguns as powerful as rifles firing 50 caliber rounds are touted as cannon fodder with torchlights. To combat the many enemies of humanity, trillions of these soldiers are drafted from a million worlds, and to supplement them, superhuman soldiers in heavy power armor are also created in the form of the Space Marines, the Sisters of Battle, and the Custodes. Yet even with the advanced armor and weapons these soldiers have, there are still threats and battles that require a next level suit to be able to tackle them head on. And so the Imperium came up long ago with one such thing that these transhuman soldiers can readily put on: the Terminator Armour. So the Terminator Armour, officially known as the Tactical Dreadnought Armour, is an advanced form of the powered combat armour designed for the elite Space Marines and also for a portion of the Golden Custodes. Prioritizing durability and protection over maneuverability, these suits are utilized in situations where standard Space Marine power armor is considered insufficient. These armors are composed of heavy gauge ceramide plasteel composite plates mounted on an adamantium exoskeleton with servo-assisted interfaces that integrate with the wearer's neurological and muscular system, with both machine and man functioning in unison. This advanced composition allows Terminator armor to withstand hits that would penetrate even tank armor, making them one of the heaviest and most durable combat power armor in the Imperial arsenal. The Marines wearing these armors stand at least a foot taller than the rest and are armed with heavier weaponry. Terminator armor can carry a variety of weapons, but the most common armament is a storm bolter and a power fist, although some Space Marines option to carry out a chain fist instead, equipped with massive, powerful chain blades. It is only the elite first company of most Space Marine chapters that extensively use these Terminator armors, and only those Astartes who earn the Crux Terminators, which is a special badge of honor, are permitted to wear them. The Crux Terminators is said to contain a fragment of the power armor worn by the Emperor of Mankind during the Siege of Terra, and is believed to augment the Terminator armor's protective capabilities. In the era Indomitus, both the Firstborn and the Primaris Marines can serve as Terminators, with the veteran Marines of the chapter being the only ones allowed to don the suits. In certain exceptions, even higher-ranking members of the Inquisition, particularly of the Ordo Malleus, have also been seen to wear these Terminator suits, though they find it troublesome and cumbersome due to the lack of the Black Carapace, which is a Space Marine specific gene seed implant that aids in the neurological interfacing of the person with the armor. So now that the introduction is out of the way, let's get into the evolution of these armors. It all started with the proto-armors. So to begin with, the Space Marine power armor has had a long and storied history, tracing its origins back to the era before the Unification Wars. They started out as exo-armors which originated from mankind's dark age of technology. These were developed to enable maintenance crews to work in hazardous environments such as hot vacuum or adverse atmospheres. They were constructed from heavy plasteel plating which formed a sealed shell capable of withstanding impacts from high-speed orbital debris. This technology was then enhanced and later became the basis for the Tactical Dreadnought Armour, known for its near invulnerability to most weapons. Then, during the Unification Wars, these early suits were gradually refined and evolved into the first fully enclosed Terminator armors, which were then subsequently developed into more advanced forms worn by the Legionist Astartes. These formidable warriors donned the newly developed power armors dubbed as the Mark I, IIs and IIIs as they embarked on the Great Crusade to reunite the worlds of the Sol system and beyond under the Emperor's dominion. Next we have the Cataphractii pattern. Origins for these are from the Great Crusade. So after the undocumented Mark I to III tactical dreadnought armors, the Cataphractii pattern of Terminator armor was developed and emerged as one of the earliest issued to the Space Marine legions. While even these were rare, even before the heresy, some legions, like the Iron Hands, were lucky and had quite a significant number. These are easily distinguished by their large, layered pauldrons and protective terrages, which are stripped like leathery flap defenses on the elbows and thighs. They featured additional plating and shield generators in the shoulder pads. This extra weight often strained the exoskeletons, reducing their movement speed and maneuverability, leading to its decline amongst some legions early in the heresy. And by the time of the current era of M42, Cataphractii armor are very rare and are treated as relics. At the same time, we have the Aquilan pattern, origins from the Great Crusade as well. The Aquilan pattern Terminator armor was also developed and used by the Adeptus Custodes during the Great Crusade and Horus Heresy. It was evolved from the Cataphractii suits of the Space Marine legions, but these featured greater power capacity and customized neurofiber uplinks, believed to be redesigned by the Emperor himself. This pattern was tailored for the enhanced physique of the Custodes, allowing for additional power systems and capacitors, enhancing durability and maneuverability. These Aquilan pattern Terminator suits of the Golden Boys wielded advanced weaponry such as Lastrum storm bolters, Solarite power gauntlets and power talons, also Infernus fire pikes and twin-linked Adrathic destructors. In the later Great Crusade, the Tartaros pattern was developed, and it is often considered to be the best since it has all the power and durability that will be introduced in the later Indomitus pattern, but with the speed of a standard power armor. This pattern of Terminator armor is reserved for the elite veterans of the chapter's first company, and it represents possibly the most advanced form of tactical dreadnought armor ever. And since Imperial technology degrades over millennia, this just might be fact. It shares many systems with the Mark IV Maximus pattern power armor, offering greater mobility than the Indomitus pattern without compromising durability. Primarily used during the latter years of the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy, these suits are now incredibly rare in M42 and are treated as relics. And so in the early years of the Horus Heresy, the Indomitus pattern was developed, and this remains the most commonly used Terminator armor in the current era. It is characterized by its large, rounded pauldrons and a helmet design resembling the face of a long, extinct species of a Terran dog or a wolf. Following the heresy, the Ultramarines led the widespread adoption of the Indomitus pattern due to the loss of many forge worlds making the other previous ones, making it difficult to replace older patterns. It is likely that the Primaris Marines also used this pattern, albeit with some size adjustments and reconfigurations. This also includes the Gorgon pattern, which was developed by the Primarch of the Iron Hands, and yet this pattern is near identical to the Indomitus pattern, with the only difference is that the new design replaced the armor embedded field generators with experimental conversion field systems that converted incoming energy into blinding light, that acted as flashbangs and concussed the enemies. However, this suit requires extensive cybernetic enhancements to reduce the heat and toxins that are generated from within it, so it became less common than the Indomitus. After the Dropsite massacre at Is 15, the Primarch of the Salamander's Legion, Vulkan, developed a prototype for his own sons. These Terminator armors differ from most others by their strange dome-like appearance that is formed by their shoulder pauldrons that are mega-sized. These prototypes, crafted by Vulkan himself, were utilized by the Salamanders after the Dropsite massacre. They were significantly larger than standard legionary power armor, featuring an additional exoskeleton frame with slanted reinforced armor plating. They were in standard, equipped with power fists, claws and chain blades on their left hands for close combat, and also for breaching armor, and a variety of combi bolters, triple-barreled autocannons and plasma launchers, or maybe even rocket launchers on the right hand. But this pattern was never adopted en masse, so they were gradually phased out. In the latter part of the Horus Heresy, another type of Terminator armor was developed, and this was called the Aegis pattern. The Aegis Terminator armor is used exclusively by the Grey Knights chapter, and it is a variant of the standard Indomitus pattern, but enhanced with a very complex array of protective layers, which includes prayers, runes, and wards. This psychic charging provides superior protection against the sorcerous powers of the demons and the servants of chaos, since the Grey Knights are the demon hunters. The armor's Crusader helmet resembles more of the ancient Mark III Iron Pattern Astartes power armor's helmet. The Aegis is equipped with various weapons, just like all the previous entries, but they were more specialized with the force weapons and the weapons against demons. But then there are also some specialized Aegis suits that are composed solely of the protective ladders and wards, which can be worn with other types of armor or clothing, just like a psychological Terminator armor. The Aegis pattern was one of the last patterns to be developed. So after the Horus Heresy, there was one more pattern that was developed. These Allarus pattern Terminator armors are the present ones utilized by the Adeptus Custodes of the Allarus Terminators. They are crafted from layered oromite and adamantium and driven by strange magnetomic generator shrines, which offers them exceptional mobility and speed, and also adding to their survivability against powerful attacks like even macro cannon shells, which is just insane. They are blessed for protection by the Emperor himself, and these Allarus Terminator plates are considered the most effective combat armor in the Imperium, with each suit valued as highly as entire worlds. Then there are also quite a few unique, artificer Terminator armors that were crafted for Primarchs and Chapter Masters. These include the armor of Antilocus, exclusive to Chapter Master Moneus Calgar of the Ultramarines, and it features a teleport Homer for deploying Terminator squads directly to him. Then we have the Serpent Scales, which was worn by the Primarch Horus, and it was a prototype constantly improved by the Imperium's greatest artificers before the heresy. It is also adorned with a wolf pelt from Davin, where Horus first turned to Chaos. Then we also have the Logos, which was crafted for Primarch Perturabo of the Iron Warriors, and it boasted advanced command and control systems with twin-ling wrist cannons and a teleport Homer. We also have the Medusan Carapace designed by Ferrus Manus of the Iron Hands, and it aided in technical tasks and was worn during the Dropside Massacre on Isvan V. Finally, the Armor of Mars was also another Artificer armor, a Terminator armor, which was worn by Angron of the World Eaters, and it was an enhanced version of his gladiatorial armor from New Seria, which was augmented with new systems and materials. So that, in a nutshell, is the evolution of the Terminator armors of Warhammer 40K. So if you like this video, then watch this other one as well, and if you want to browse for other Warhammer content and space sci-fi content, then check out our channel. So subscribe and like for support, and yeah, while you're at it, bang on that bell icon for notifications on new video uploads. Till the next time, take care, boys.